We will start today's solar presentation, and our topic is Huawei FusionSolar CNI Smart PV Solutions. So today we're going to take a look at the smart CNI solutions from Huawei and how its applications and product features benefit the solar business globally around the world now. My name is Samson Amanyozikson. I'm a webinar presenter for today. I am able to or authorized to present this webinar because I have two key certifications, which I've noted here. I'm a Huawei Certified Specialist Professional for Pre-Sales and a Huawei Certified Service Associate for After Sales. So I am authorized to enlighten you on everything that you need before you buy Huawei inverters, all the knowledge that you require, all the engineering design that you need for your projects, and also to be able to give you service support after you have made a purchase with us, and any troubleshooting, any O&M support that you might need for your system. We will take a look at today's webinar presentation from 5 key angles. First, we will discuss who we are as Jubeli Bros Solar and how we are able to offer you a one-stop solar solution for your projects. We will take a look at the introduction to Huawei FusionSolar CNI portfolio. We will discuss the solution and applications for the CNI portfolio into detail. We will also take a look at the product features for Huawei CNI and other solar products that are supplied by Jubeli Bros Solar. I am excited. It's been a long time I have had people on a webinar series like this. We took a short break, but we are back. So I hope you will also be excited through the webinar as I will be. At the end of the day, we will take your questions, as I've said, and we will make sure that we answer them as much as possible. So Jubeli Bros Solar is 43 years plus and counting old in power solutions. We are actively present in 12 countries globally. We have 3 manufacturing hubs around the world, one in Nigeria, one in Lebanon, and one in Dubai. We have 29 branches and service centers around the world with over 1,300 employees globally. We have 70 dealers and distributors also around the world. So that is our portfolio as Jubeli Bros. So as I said, we are about 43 years old. The journey started 1977 in Lebanon. And since that time, we have progressed steadily. We have entered into several countries along the way to date. So we moved into UAE, Nigeria, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Ghana. We entered Ghana into 2010, the location from which I am presenting this webinar to you now. We then went to Qatar, Uganda, South Africa. In 2017, the company became 40 years old. So in order to commemorate the 40-year anniversary, the solar division was born. So previously, we were mainly distributors of generators, diesel generators, with Perkins and Leroy Summer as our main OEMs for the gensets. In 2017, the solar division was born. So basically, in terms of solar, we are between 4 to 5 years old now. Since then, we have entered into Pakistan, and our most recent entry was into Kenya. Okay, so to narrow down a bit on the solar division was born in 2017 on 6 key pillars. Okay, 6 key pillars are the foundation for the solar division. The first one is our main priority. That is what we do. We are a product supplier. So we are a huge solar one-stop product distributor around the world. That is our main goal. This is what you pay us money for. Okay, but aside what you pay us money for, we have other strong pillars that we offer mostly for free. So we do trainings, we do webinars and seminars, as I am doing now, to introduce our products to our new customers, and also to bring new product features to the market for people who even already know about our products. We offer engineering support, okay, engineering design and support for your project. So if you have a project, even before you move to the design stage, if you get in touch with Jubeli Bros Solar, we will offer you the total support that you require for these projects, and it's for free, absolutely for free. We also offer leads. Okay, when we have projects that come onto our table, we are able to offer leads and referrals to EPCs, to developers, all right, to financiers, and to even homeowners who need them. We also offer referral to finance. So an EPC has a project and he's struggling to get finance for the project. When you make contact with us, we will be able to direct you to the right path of where you can get enough finance for your project. And one of my key favorites is after sales support. So we don't just supply the product to you. After the product is supplied, we work with you throughout the entire lifetime of the project. And that is very, very important. So we offer you installation support when you need it. We can offer you installation support on site if we are actively present in the country in which you are actually going to do the installation. And we can offer you support after for commissioning and also for O&M as and when you need it. So just to introduce you to our portfolio of products. So you can see we do everything from panels, mounting structures, to inverters, to inverter accessories, and then we do the hybrid controllers. Of course, as I mentioned, our key strength already for over 43 years was in the generators, where we use Perkins and Eurosummer for our engines and alternators. So you can see we do panels, and all the names you see here are tier 1 names only. Currently, we just struck a partnership with Jinko for the GCC region. So we are an official partner for Jinko in the GCC region, which means that we are able to offer you direct cheap prices for the Jinko products that we actually get from Jinko Solar. In terms of mounting structure, we currently do mounting structures from Lumax Energy. At the end of this presentation, I will show you a couple of the mounting structures that we do and how good they look. Then our main Huawei partnership is also exhibited here. For Huawei, we are a VAP and a CSP. I will explain a little bit in my next slide. And also, as I mentioned, for the generators and hybrid controllers. So for people who do PV diesel, okay, PV diesel hybrid, we use these controllers to help you save fuel on your systems. So to narrow down to Huawei, as I mentioned, we are a VAP and a CSP. So a VAP means a value-added partner. To be a value-added partner of Huawei, what it means is that Huawei do not sell directly to the market. Huawei sells only to a VAP, and then the VAP sells to the market. So that is the structure that we have in place. So if we are a VAP for any region in the world, it means that the only source of your purchase will be with Jubilee Bros Solar. Okay, and as a CSP, it means we are a certified service partner of Huawei. So Huawei has certified us to offer service on their behalf. So we don't only sell to you, we offer you service as we've been trained from Huawei Global. Why have we selected Huawei? Higher yields, smart O&M, higher safety and reliability for over 25 years of their product lifespan. We will go much deeper into this, so I will not spend too much time here. So for Jubilee Bros Solar in 2019, we had a total inverter shipment of close to 70 megawatts. And in 2020, we increased to close to 94 megawatts. So you can see that our business portfolio has been increasing globally, and that is because of the enormous work that the team puts into these inverter sales. Hopefully, 2021 we would beat the 100 megawatt mark surely, and we would keep offering you the best customer service as you would need them globally. Okay, so to today's topic, so the CMI Smart PV solution from Huawei. Why have we chosen to have this partnership with Huawei and not with any other company? Of course, globally, as per the statistics that you can see here from IHS Market, Huawei has been the #1 global shipper of inverters every year since 2015, globally, annually. 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2020. And it's not even close. I mean, you can see the percentage of their market share, about 22% market share in terms of inverter shipments. And this is for all inverters, whether string or central. Okay, whether string or central, this is Huawei's market share. When we take the string inverters alone, we are aware that Huawei offers only string inverters, not central. Okay, so when we take the string inverter market alone, which is what you see on your right-hand side, Huawei has over 50% of the market share in terms of string inverters. Their inverters are clearly tested, they are tried, they are everywhere in the world. So it's not a situation for you to say that Huawei inverters are not popular. So if I have a problem, how do I solve them? No, they are everywhere globally, and that's what we want to indicate to you. Okay, so let's move into the portfolio properly. Huawei FusionSolar C&I portfolio. What do we have in there? To take a look at that, let's just bring the whole entire portfolio up front. So we know Huawei does three different sectors, okay? Residential range, commercial and industrial range, and then the utility scale range, as you can see here. The residential range is 2 to 6 kilowatts or 3 to 10 kilowatts. So they are in two groups because of the phases, okay? So the 2 to 6 kilowatts is single phase, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kilowatt inverters, or single phase. And then they do 3 to 10 kilowatt three phase. So Huawei's residential systems is detailed up to 10 kilowatts. Anything from 2 to 10 kilowatt is considered residential with Huawei. So the three phase, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. So take note, there is no 7 and 9, okay? So you have 3, 4, 5, 6 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt, and 10 kilowatt inverters, three phase from Huawei. I am very sure that most of you are aware that Huawei has also introduced the Huawei Lunar batteries. Okay, the Huawei Lunar batteries. Today's topic is not about residential, so I will not go too deep into that. We will have other webinars for discussing residential systems, where we will take a look at those systems and then the batteries as they come along. So for the commercial and industrial, Huawei has three groups, okay, three groups of inverters. We have the 12 to 20 kilowatt. So when we say 12 to 20 kilowatt, we have it as 12, 15, 17, and 20 kilowatt. This is the small C&I range of the inverters. The small C&I range, 12, 15, 17, and 20 kilowatt inverters. And then we have the 30, 36, 40 kilowatt M3 inverters. They are the most new, they are the latest inverters that has been released or launched from Huawei. 30, 36, and 40 kilowatt inverters, brand new. Okay, M3 inverters, and that's also one group. This is considered part of the mid-size C&I group. So this group, together with the 40 and 50, 60, together with the 50 and 60 kilowatt, are both in the middle range. And then we have the mega C&I inverter. That's the 100 kilowatt inverter. Okay, so the 100 kilowatt inverter is the largest in the C&I range. Okay, for utility scale, Huawei has smart inverters also for the utility size projects. We have the 185 kilowatt H1 and then the 200 kilowatt H2 inverters. For they are still string, not central. So these are still string inverters for our utility scale projects. So today the focus will be on the C&I sector, where we'll take a look at the commercial and industrial ranges and what they offer, their product applications and their features going forward. So let us introduce them into detail. So here we see the ranges as I indicated earlier. This is the small, this is the medium size range, and this is the mega 100 kilowatt inverter. So the 12 to 20, which is 12, 15, 17, 20 kilowatt, you could see the product features all here. Okay, each has two MPPTs, and each MPPT has two strings. So it has two MPPTs each, and each has two strings, making the strings 4 in all, so 4 in total. So you can connect a total of 4 strings to this inverter. This range has 4 MPPTs, each has 2 inputs, which is 2 strings. So that will be 8 strings in total. This has 6, 12 in total, 10, 20 strings in total. Because of the enormous number of strings that this inverter has, what happens is that you don't need a DC combiner box between your panels and the inverter. You don't need a DC combiner box. You terminate the negative and positive of the strings directly onto the inverter without a DC combiner box. That is one thing that we should all take note of. In all these inverters, you do not need a DC combiner box, and that is reducing the capex for the project. Okay, commissioning is all here for each product. You see the features as been outlined here. So here it has an inbuilt VLAN for commissioning. This range, this is indicating the old type. The new type, the 303640, also has an inbuilt VLAN. Okay, uses has an inbuilt VLAN for the commissioning. This range, the 5060, uses a USB VLAN adapter for commissioning. The 100 kilowatt also uses a USB VLAN adapter for commissioning. And if you take a look at the range, we have several communication options for each of the group of inverters. Okay, the next slide, I will detail the communication gadgets that can be connected to these inverters for the communication. And it is crucially important because you note as we go forward that the Huawei inverters has removed all quickware parts on the inverters. So there are no screens, there are no buttons, there is nothing that is currently located on the inverter. Your main means of communication is using an external gadget. So it is very, very important that these communication items are well detailed. They have several features. You can see an AFCI. AFCI means arc fault current interrupter feature. So there's a feature inside these inverters that arrests and detects all arcs in the system and protects the inverter from the arc fault. We also have PID recovery for these inverters, and the 12 to 20 group of inverters also has a ripple control interface. Right, it has a ripple control interface. Normally, in some countries, especially those countries in Europe, the grid operator will need to give you a ripple control detector to attach to the inverter to make sure that they are monitoring the parameters or features of your solar system. We don't have it here in Africa, but some countries have it. So if there's a need for you to connect a ripple control device to these inverters, the interface is also available here for you to do that. Okay, so let's move to the communication items, as I mentioned. So what are the communication modules that are needed for the inverters that I just enumerated above? So we have the dongles, we call them the smart dongles, and then we have the smart logger. This is basically what most of you will know as a data logger from your other solar trainings. It's a data logger, but here in Huawei, everything is smart, okay, because everything is AI powered. So this is a smart logger 3000A, and then this is the USB adapter 2000C that will be employed for local commissioning of the projects. So for these communication models, this one here is freely supplied in the inverter package as the package is sold to you. So if you buy an inverter, it will come with a supplied USB adapter, so that you can use this USB adapter for local commissioning. Okay, that should be noted. These other three devices are not supplied in the inverter package. They are auxiliary devices that you must actually purchase. Okay, so we have the dongles. The smart dongle, this one is WLAN FE. That means wireless local area network and fast Ethernet. So this smart dongle uses a Wi-Fi and also an internet cable access. So if you are installing the product in an area where the company has a wireless router, you can use the smart dongle, WLAN FE, or you can have access to a direct Ethernet cable that can be connected inside to the backside of this communication model. That is also possible. But for example, you are installing your product in an area where there's no Wi-Fi and there is no internet cable, but because of 4G connectivity, maybe there's a telecommunication mast in the area, you can use a SIM card. Okay, so you can use a SIM card. Instead of using this, you go for the smart dongle 4G, and that uses a SIM card. You would insert a SIM card into this dongle, and then if you have data on the SIM card, you can connect to the communication system. That is also very possible. The only thing you must make sure is that your area telecommunication provider is 4G compliant. Okay, so yeah, this can take 2G, 3G, 4G. Okay, so once they are compliant to those telecommunication systems, you can use a smart dongle 4G. For bigger projects, you can also use the smart logger 3000A. Okay, let me let you know that the smart dongles is limited to a number of up to 10 devices. Up to 10 devices. Okay, whilst the smart logger 3000 is limited to 80 devices, 80 inverters. So if your devices, or if the number of inverters in your string, in your synchro is more than 10, you need a smart logger. Okay, the smart dongles can do up to a maximum of 10, and for up to 80 devices, you will need a smart logger 3000. We will go a little bit more detail into all these as we progress in this webinar. So just to show you a highlight of what the Smart Logger 3000A can do. So here we said it can take a maximum of 80 devices, isn't it? It has 3 communication ports, okay? The 3 communication ports that are on the Smart Logger, each can take a maximum of 30 devices. So that would be 30, 30, 30, and that adds up to what? 90, okay? But although it can take, although the addition is up to 90, we advise the maximum that you can connect to them is 80, not 90, which means that if you have about 80 devices, you can do 30 here, 30 there, and 20 here, okay? All you have to do is to connect the devices in a daisy chain, as you can see them here, from one inverter to another using an RS485 communication cable, from one to the other, from one to the other, from one to the other, and then the last one comes into the communication port 1. Same with the second synchro, one to the other, one to the other, and then the last one also comes into the communication port 2. And then in the third synchro, you have the same RS485 daisy chain, and the last one comes to the communication port 3. Now, we advise that if you have other devices that are not inverters, they should always be at the end of the synchro, not at the beginning or anywhere in the middle. As you can see from here, this is a weather station, an EMI, and the EMI is connected at the end of the synchro, not at the beginning or anywhere in between the middle. It's very, very important. So the Smart Logger can have this communication arrangement and take up to 80 devices. These are for large CNI projects, okay? When you have 2 megawatts, 1.5 megawatts on the roof, 3 megawatts, okay? That kind of projects, you can always use the Smart Logger 3000A. Okay, so we also have as an accessory the Smart Optimizer, okay? The Sun 2000 450 watt peak. The 450 watt peak is indicating the maximum wattage of the panels for which you can apply this Smart Optimizer. We all know what an optimizer does, right? Okay, so just into perspective, an MPPT maximizes the power of a string. It doesn't maximize the power of individual panels in a string. If you want the power in every panel in a string to be maximized, you need to connect an optimizer. So an optimizer optimizes the power in a panel, not like the job of an MPPT that does for a full string. So it is crucially important. This optimizer here, as I mentioned, is limited up to panel wattage of 450 watts. By Q4 this year, Huawei will be introducing the new optimizers that can go up to 600 watts. Okay, so that is on its way coming. So this is for panels up to about 450 watts, and this is applicable to the inverter group 12 to 20. If you're using an inverter between 12 to 20 kilowatts, it's also applicable to the new 30, 36, and 40 kilowatt group of inverters. It's also applicable to them. The 30, 36, and 40 can also use the Smart Optimizers on their roofs. It has a lot of advantages, okay? It allows for model level monitoring, as I mentioned. Model level, not string level monitoring. Model level shutdown to ensure safety of your system. Rapid shutdown can also be accessed through the Smart Optimizers. You can also use for your long PV string design, because the Smart Optimizer takes over the power system of the panel. So it allows you to actually have a long string design to enable higher AC to DC ratio in your system. Allows for physical layout, image recognition, and you can also use this to locate any disconnection that is in your string system. So these are all the benefits that we can have from our Smart Optimizers. Moving forward quickly, let's come to the power meters. And I know this is also a crucially important topic for people who are doing CNI projects, okay? When you're doing a CNI project and you want to know, you are having this project in a country where there is a need for zero export to the grid, okay? For example, there's a need for you to have export limitation of your power to the grid, or barely, just for you to know how much your system is producing, okay? You can use this smart meters from Huawei. It's a smart power sensor DTSU 666H. We have it both as single phase and 3-phase, but for CNI projects, it's a 3-phase one that you need. They come with 3 CTs provided in the box. So there are 3 CTs that are already provided with the system as they are sold to you. The connection is by an RS485 line to the inverter. But this is limited for projects up to 170 kilowatts. Please take note. If you are having a CNI project that is above 170 kilowatts, you cannot employ the Huawei smart meter. You can't. If it's above 170 kilowatts, you need to go for a third-party smart meter. These third-party smart meters are compatible with Huawei systems. One example that we have shown here is the Janitza. For those of you who are conversant with Janitza power meters, they are compatible with Huawei systems. Huawei has a list of compatible smart meters that you can employ apart from their smart meter. Okay, so please contact Jubeli Bros if you are having a project and you want to know whether your smart meter that you are employing is compatible with the Huawei system. At the project design stage, you can contact Jubeli Bros. We will offer you a list of the compatible smart meters. Even the smart meters that are not mentioned on the list of compatibility, that doesn't mean that they will not work with the Huawei system. Please take note. If your smart meter is not on that list, it doesn't mean that it's not work with the Huawei system. All you need to do is to check the communication protocol between the smart meter and the smart logger that you are going to use. If the communication protocols are the same, then you can actually use it. If they are not the same, of course, then it will not work. Okay, so the key thing here is the communication protocol. If you're going to use a third-party smart meter, ensure that the communication protocol between that smart meter that you are employing and the Huawei smart logger is the same. So let's say the RTU protocol, okay? If that's the case, they should be the same, and then you can employ them. But this is the Huawei meter, up to 170 kilowatt. Anything above 170, you need a third-party smart meter. Good. Now let's come to the management system. Okay. Take note, I mentioned earlier that Huawei has tried to make their inverters touch-free as much as possible. We don't want you to touch the inverters. And this is in order to prolong the lifespan of the inverter. So everything has been moved online. Okay. So if you are employing a smart logger for your project, okay, that smart logger needs to be commissioned within your project. So to commission the smart logger, you need this interface. We call it the Web UI, right? The Web UI interface. All you need to do is to have an Ethernet line connection between the smart logger and a laptop. Okay, so once you connect the smart logger to a laptop through the internet connection, you are able to commission your smart logger using the Web UI interface. There's a separate training for that. Okay, there's a separate webinar for that, and if you are interested, you can look for that webinar and then join for having knowledge on how to commission the system. Now, aside this, we have the app and the online management system. Okay, to make your work easy, we have an app that you can just download on your phone. So once the app is downloaded on your phone, it's called the FusionSolar app. You can use the FusionSolar app for local commissioning. You can also use it for remote monitoring of the system. Very, very important. So it supports inverter commissioning and plant registration onto the management system. That is very, very important. So after you have used the FusionSolar app to commission your system, then you can register your plant onto the management platform for online management and remote control. So please take note. These are all used appropriately when they are needed. Okay. The Web UI is to aid you to commission your smart logger and then get your smart logger connected to the system. You need your FusionSolar app for local commissioning and for remote monitoring and plant registration. And then once the plant is registered, you need the online management system. That is the online unified address, intl.fusionsolar.huawei.com. And once you get there with the plan that you have registered here, you get onto this platform, and then you can log into your system and you can monitor your system remotely. You can manage the system right from this website. Okay, you can run a smart IV curve diagnosis to check the health of your system or from this management system. So this is what we have in place. It's simple, easy. We have trainings on all these to help you understand properly. So how people normally ask us, how do you download the app? It is pretty much simple. You search for the FusionSolar app in your Google Play, download and install, and you are good to go. There's also a link to a QR code that we can share with you. You just scan just scan the QR code, and then you can download the app and install. Right? So you would have something coming out like this for the management system. Okay, this is the interface that will come out. Now we have the FusionSolar 7 in play now, which is quite a different color system from this. That is blue. This is the old one, which is green. The new FusionSolar system is blue, but similar features, just enhanced for your applicability. Then let us move forward to another explanation. There are companies or there are a group of people who are listening to me who will say, "Oh, but I am already a developer. I have a whole range of solar CNI installations. Am I now going to start using Huawei, and Huawei will force me to use a different platform from the system that I use?" No. Okay. So if you are a developer with a heavy portfolio of projects and you want to now adopt Huawei, you are free to do so. We can actually migrate all your systems from the Huawei FusionSolar app onto your third-party management system. Okay, so maybe you have a system in place that you use to monitor all your solar installations globally. That do not have to change only because you have come to Huawei. Okay, if that is what you are going to do, you must do your commissioning and application through the Sun 2000 app, not the FusionSolar app, the Sun 2000 app. Okay, so once you commission your system through the Sun 2000 app, the old management system was a NetEco, no more used by Huawei now. Okay, it's still active for projects that have them already, but for new projects, we are no more using the NetEco. We will migrate you onto the third-party management platform of your choice. So if your company already has a management platform in place, you can still adopt the Huawei inverters for your projects, and then after commissioning, we can migrate all the transmit all the data to your new management system. Okay, we can do that if you're using a smart logger or a smart dongle through the Modbus TCP protocol. If you are actually using the smart PV management system, we can do that through the interface called RESTful. Right, so that is also in place. This is not to scare you and say, "Oh, once I use Huawei, then it means all my other projects, I'm not able to link them together." No, you can do that. Okay, we can transfer to a third-party management system for you as easy as possible. Let's come to the hierarchical user account management for your projects. Okay, so Huawei has a hierarchy of managing solar projects, and I will explain to you. So you see the VAP account. As I mentioned, Jubilee Bros is a global VAP for Huawei. So we will have this account, and then we will give you a lower level account. Let's say we sit in Dubai, okay, Jubilee Bros Dubai, or Jubilee Bros West Africa, as I am in Ghana now, and we are the VAP. We sell our product to a distributor who is in Afghanistan, for example, or in my case, maybe the distributor is in Senegal. Okay, so is a distributor. He will have his own level account. The distributor sells to an installer in the country, the installer or EPC, and then the installer or EPC installs in a home or a factory. Now, the factory owner will have an owner role. He will have his own level of monitoring the system. Normally, their level only monitors KPIs, okay, key indicators from the system: production, consumption, how the system is running, alarms and all that. They monitor, they are able to print or export reports, but they are not able to change the settings of the system. That's the owner rule. If the system has a problem and the system needs some settings to be changed, that will have to be left for the installer to do. Okay, so the installer rule has different responsibilities from the owner rule. Okay, so for example, there is a low voltage issue or there's a high voltage issue. We need to change the range for the low voltage run through or the high voltage run through. When the homeowner informs you, it will be you, the installer, getting into the system and then you doing those changes for him. If you are not able to, the distributor who has a higher level management will be able to help you. And we are also available as a VAP account. You can contact us right from here, and we will offer you all the on-site support that you need for troubleshooting the system. So if it's a problem that even we cannot solve, but it needs Huawei's intervention, we will contact Huawei on your behalf, and then Huawei comes into the system to get it checked. So you can see that there's a level of management for our solar systems to ensure that if I have sold a product to somebody in Afghanistan and I'm in Dubai, I don't have to travel all the way to Dubai to Afghanistan to solve a problem. Just online, I can log into the system and troubleshoot it from my base in Dubai, give him access, solve the problem for him, and then we are good to go. Same with warranty, okay? Same with warranty. If this system has a problem and this man reports to the installer reports to the distributor. The distributor informs me that a product that has been installed in Senegal or in Afghanistan is not working well. I log into the product, I check the systems, it's true, it's not working well. I give the code to Huawei. Huawei also generates a ticket, checks it from their base. It's true, it's not working well. Huawei authorizes us to replace the system. We don't repair, we don't replace parts. We replace the whole inverter for you as the problem has been identified, if it's a manufacturer's defect. Okay, so this allows us to properly manage the solar systems that we have with Huawei without people traveling back and forth in this regard. It's crucially important for our installations. Okay, so last on this topic before I move forward, sometimes people again will ask, are you able to match and mix inverters in a synchro? Yes, Huawei inverters, you can match and mix them. So let's say this is a 20 kilowatt inverter. You can connect it to a 36 kilowatt inverter. You can connect it to a 100 kilowatt inverter. Okay, and all you need to do is connect all of them to one AC combiner box before it moves to the DB of this of the house. So here you see the smart meter that is connected at the system. The smart meter will be connected through an RS485 line to the master inverter in the system. In every synchro, we have a master and we have slaves. Okay, so one of the inverters will be a master inverter. That inverter will connect directly to the smart meter, and all the others will have their daisy chain connection in that order. This is the system that gets us online through the internet for you to do online monitoring of our system. So this is just an overview. We shall go much more deeper into the CNI solution applications from here, so that you can see a little bit more detail of what I was just trying to explain in the previous slide. So let's take a look at the situation where we have one CNI inverter, small size. Okay, that means between 12 and 20 kilowatts. Okay, so we just have one inverter. You can use a smart dongle. Okay, you don't need a smart logger for it. You can just use a smart dongle, and then the smart dongle will connect to our online system for you, to the management system, as I mentioned earlier. Simple and easy. All you need is an internet access. So if you have Wi-Fi in your location, you can use the smart dongle WLAN and FE. If you don't have Wi-Fi, but you have SIM card connectivity, you can use the smart logger 4G. Okay, 4G to connect to your management system. Any choice is yours, depending on your limitations or your restrictions at your location. So here to the DB of the house, and then to the items, the smart meter connects directly to this. Simple plug and play, right? No complications at all. I think this should be easy for every installer to go through. Then we have the second scenario. So this is the scenario where you are using a bigger CNI inverter, like the 100 kilowatt. Okay, you are using the 100 kilowatt. Again, as we mentioned, the smart dongle will work. The smart dongle 4G works for the 100 kilowatt, no problem. But if you are having an installation that is bigger, we normally recommend you using the smart logger. Why do we recommend you to use the smart logger? The smart logger has a lot of more communication, more connection to it than the meter, than the inverter alone. So if I connect using my 4G, I limit the number of other connections I can add to this inverter. So for example, I want to add a weather sensor. I want to add a ripple device to this inverter. What happens is that I'll be limited. If I need to connect too many devices to one inverter, it will be better for me to use a smart logger. The smart logger has all the interfaces that you need for connection. You can connect multiple items to this smart logger and connect it just by one line RS485 to this inverter instead of using the smart dongle. So that is just an advice. It is not to say that you can't use the smart logger, the smart dongle 4G. You can use it, but it reduces your connectivity to this inverter, whilst the smart logger offers you much more opportunity. Again, simple to the MDB, then it connects to the equipment of the factory or the house. And then here you have your smart meter. Now, in the case of a smart logger, take note, the smart meter do not connect to the inverter. The smart meter connects to the smart logger. Okay, the reason why I told you that the smart logger was better, because if you're using a smart logger, the smart meter now do not have to connect to the inverter. It connects to the smart logger because the smart logger now becomes your master, not the inverter. Okay, and then the smart logger now connects to the management platform. Same going forward. Again, here we are just showing you that you can mix and match the inverters. You can connect 20 kilowatts in a synchro to 60, to 100, or to 36. Okay, all you need to do is that if you are using a smart dongle for this purpose, and remember, the smart dongle can take a maximum of what? Of 10 devices. So if you're using a smart dongle for this purpose, the smart dongle has to be connected to the master inverter, not any slave. The master inverter. The smart meter will also have to be connected to the master inverter. These are the key points that you need to note. So if you are having 20 kilowatt inverter, 60 kilowatt inverter, 36 kilowatt inverter in a synchro, okay, one will be the master. Connect the smart dongle to that master, and the others you have an RS485 connection to daisy chain them. So daisy chain that, and then you need a combiner box to add to just combine all these outputs. Then it goes to the MDB of the house, and then to the equipment. And again, simple plug and play. You are done. Let's move forward. I think there's one more. So here we are taking a look at a large CNI installation, okay, where you need up to about, let's say, 80 inverters. I have already shown you this with the smart logger. If you need 80 inverters, okay, you can connect them in a daisy chain, 30 of them to one communication port, another 30 to another communication port, then the last 20 to the third communication port. The smart logger has 3 communication ports to accept a huge number of inverters. And then, of course, you need your AC combiner box, and then you go through the system. So what you don't need are DC combiner boxes, but if you have a large number of inverters in the system, you need an AC combiner box to actually put most of them together before they go out of the system. Okay, so we are almost nearing the end of this webinar. We'll take a look at the CNI product features. Now we have spoken about the applications, where and how we can apply them. Now we will go to the features, okay? What makes Huawei CNI inverters the best around the world? Why have they been the number one in terms of global shipment for 5-6 straight years, okay? Without any comparison. These are the reasons why. So here we would work on 8 key unique innovations that Huawei has, which no other inverter supplier can match, okay? So we will work on 8 key innovations. We can group them into 3. We have active safety, okay? So I will talk a little bit about active safety. The Huawei inverters offers you the best safety everywhere in the world, no match. They also offers you the highest energy yields, and they are maintenance free. Can you imagine? Maintenance free. In fact, we will get to the point where I'll speak about the inverter and the modules. We need to operate them as touch free. You don't need to touch the inverters. You don't need to touch the PV models. Yes, and you do this for 20 years of the lifespan of your installation. And that is the truth. This is not me saying. I mean, this is third-party verified. Okay, so we will go through them. And for active safety, we will talk about the AI-powered active hacking protection, and we also talk about the enhanced active protection that we have for the Huawei systems. In terms of higher energy use, we'll talk about the strings per MPPT, talk about the efficiency levels, and then the built-in PID recovery. and also for maintenance free. We will discuss the no quick wear parts, the IV curve diagnosis, and then the natural cooling effect that these inverters actually have with their systems. Okay, so let's start with hacking. We all know what hacking is, right? Where there's a loose terminal connection between wires and conductors, or even between two wires, where there's a break in the system, and still we are still pushing DC power through the systems. In fact, the temperatures between arcs can normally get up to about 3,000 degrees Celsius. Majority of arc of fire that started in our PV installations are all from arcs. We all know that. Okay, so how does Huawei's inverters protect us from this hacking system? And of course, I know most of you listening on this webinar will say, oh, but we have several other inverters that have anti-hacking features. Yes, we have several other inverters that have anti-hacking features. But if you know them well, compare if they are the same as I would state here. So even by the UL regulations, the maximum hacking distance in every installation is about 80 meters. Huawei offers you hacking distance of up to about 200 meters. So for every 200 meter in your installation, all the hacking in those PV panels are all protected from one inverter, and that is massive. This is way above what the standard is. The standard is 80 meters. We offer you up to 200 meters. I bet you to get me an inverter supplier that matches this particular distance, it will be hard to find. Now, also, there is a maximum current arc of 16 amps by the UL regulations. Huawei does up to 26 amps. So Huawei arcs can be detected up to 26 amps in your system. And that gives you the maximum arcing protection that you can get. Remember, of late, we are having high-powered panels with amperages that are within this range. So if you are using a 450 watt panel or a 600 watt panel, and you are having to work with arcing currents of up to about this amperage, and your arcing indicator cannot detect this, it means you're in trouble, right? And that's why the Huawei systems are very, very much strong against even bifacial panels, okay? So bifacial panels where there is a higher amperage of arc, a higher possible amperage of arc, the Huawei systems are all protected against that. And that's why we talk about enhanced active arcing protection, ones that the other inverters do not offer to you. And this is offered by Huawei. It's not an enhanced feature that you must pay for. You don't pay for it. Okay, it is basic with your system. Very, very basic with your system. And here also we talk about the strings per MPPT. Okay, so Huawei inverters has 2 strings per MPPT. I mentioned that at the beginning of the product features. So 12 to 20 has 2 MPPTs. They have 2 strings. That's 4 strings in all. 30 to 40 have 4 MPPTs, 2 strings each, which makes it 8 strings in all. This has 12 strings in all, and this has 20 strings in all. Now, in our exhibition to R&D to identify how this feature enhances more energy use, okay, in Thailand, the project that has been done and compared between the Huawei vendor and another vendor, in just over a few days, you can see that there is about 1.6% increment in energy yield, only due to the double strings per MPPT. And this is a feature that is enhanced that Huawei offers. Again, this is not premium, this is basic. You don't pay extra for it. Now let's go to the European weighted average efficiency. Please take note. I hope you are aware that inverters, when the ratings are out, you see the theoretical efficiency. Some can go as high as 99%, but actually the European weighted average efficiency is different. That is the efficiency calculated owing to normal conditions, not standard conditions, right? And Huawei has one of the highest in the system. As a matter of fact, for this project, comparing Huawei to another vendor, for all our size of inverters, you see 12 to 20, 30 to 40, 50, 60, and then 100. You can see that Huawei is still highest in all 4 areas. In fact, we are only matched when it comes to this range, where the closest competitor and us are on the same level, but for all the others, Ours is higher, higher, and higher. So our max efficiency is actually very, very high compared to the other vendors in the system. And our PID recovery, okay. So again, most projects you would see that the project owners will buy a PID offset box. That's an external device connected to the system so that they can offset the PID that the system suffers. Of course, PID is what potential induced degradation, and that is in the panels. But with the Huawei systems, it is inbuilt and it's not premium, it's basic. Again, at night, a DC offset voltage is sent to the panels, and this increases the panel voltage compared to ground. And what happens is that recovers whatever degradation that the panels have suffered within the day. And this is actually what something that is inbuilt in all the Huawei inverters for CNI. Okay, so what it means is that we are actually helping reduce the degradation of the inverters, ensuring that you are always getting your maximum efficiency and features for your products. For other projects, you need to buy an offset device. Here, you don't have to buy. This is one case study for this particular PID recovery system. So you see the Nissan car park in Guangzhou, a 30 megawatt system. It was realized that just within 6 months, okay, comparing the systems connected to Huawei PID recovery inverters to the other systems, Huawei was offering 1.6% more energy than the other inverters. This is proven, right? So even with the PID recovery function alone, we are actually offering you higher energy yields. And sometimes you see this and then you think it's just 1%. But look, 1% in 6 months. In 3 months, it will become what percentage is. Multiply this over 20 years of the lifespan of your project. And you see that that is actually valuable income going to your pockets. Then the third aspect of why we think Huawei inverters are the best, system maintenance free. Okay, so as I mentioned, inverter touch free, module touch free. This is what we expect your system to have. If you have connected this for 20 years, we expect that for the 20 years lifespan of your project, okay, don't touch the inverters, don't touch your modules. Interesting. So the someone will say, how do I do maintenance on my modules? How do I offer? How do I do traditional O&M on my PV panels? No, Huawei do not offer that. We have a more smart system of running maintenance on your models, for which you would not need to tag them. And that's why we call it smart PV. Okay, natural cooling, plug and play, AI boost IV curve diagnosis. Let us get a bit more detail of what I'm just trying to say. So you take a look at a normal installation. Two things actually help to reduce our profitability in a solar project. That is the quick wear parts, okay, of the inverter systems, and then the harsh environmental challenges that the panels actually go through. So most inverters have fuses, they have fans, they have LCD screens, and these ones need to be replaced at particular times within the years. Fuses every 6 months, fans every 5 years or so, LCD screens 8 to 10 years, and all these cost money, isn't it? They do cost money. They do cost time also. Even more, much more important than the money is the time. They cost us downtime. And we are also faced with environmental challenges every day. As for the panels, they are open to the environment and the excess heat, the excess rain, everything. So traditionally, about $10,000 per megawatt is spent on O&M. How does Huawei help you to avoid all this? Huawei inverters mostly come with no quick wear parts. Huawei has eliminated all quick wear parts in their inverters. So there are no fuses, there are no LCD screens, there are no buttons. There's no button that you press on and off on the inverter for which dust can enter that side and then you will have to change it every 6 months. There are no fuses that will have to blow for you. You have to come in. So someone will ask, if there are no fuses, how then are you protected against surges, against problems in your inverters? No, there's a different way of taking care of that, okay? So there are no fuses in our system. There are no LCD screens. What you see here is just an LED indicator to indicate how the system is working, the AC side, DC side, and then the communication module. It is not a screen. So Huawei has eliminated all these, making our inverter touch-free. You don't touch it for the entire time of the installation, and in the lifetime of the project, you don't have to touch any part of of this inverter. So TUV verified annual failure rate is less than 0.5. Our inverters are available up to 99.996% annually. I don't know how close to 100% we can get, but for me, this is pretty close to 100%. Okay, and also in addition to there being no quick wear parts, if you take a look at the Huawei inverter systems, up to about 40 kilowatt or so, we don't do fans. They come fanless. There are no fans. Huawei uses natural active cooling for the inverters, and two things are possible. You see, if you take a look at the thermogram at the left bottom here, you see that this is a heating photograph taken of the inverter at higher temperatures. You can see that all the heat sensitive areas are separated from the heat generating areas. So the heat from this area normally do not affect the heat sensitive parts of the inverter. That is one technique. Even if you take a look at the derating curve of our inverters, okay, as has been stated here, 12 to 20 derate at 50 degrees Celsius. The next group derates at 45 degrees Celsius. The 50-60 derates at 45 degrees Celsius. And the derating only starts at the point where the inverter is now producing 100%. Take note, Huawei inverters, if they are rated as at a figure, they can produce up to 110% of that figure. So for example, this is a 60 kilowatt inverter. It can produce up to 66 kilowatt, okay, maximum. And the inverter can work at that 66 kilowatt for the entire temperature time until 45 degrees Celsius, where it starts to derate to its normal rating. That's the 60 at around 50 degrees Celsius. So the derating starts at a higher rating than what you have actually purchased, which is a very good thing. All right. So this is the derating curves that you can have for our inverters. This is showing you the heat sinks behind the inverter that easily dissipates the heat generated by the inverter to the outside. That is why if you take a look at the Huawei manuals, we ask for some specific requirements on the spacing beside our inverters to allow the heat to dissipate, okay, without fans. No fans means what? Lightweight. Our inverters are very light, extremely light and robust, okay. And this is the technology that was borrowed from the telecom industry, and you already know Huawei are technological giants. So it was actually bringing this into the inverters for our use. Okay, so the touch-free case. This is a port in Dubai, almost 30 megawatts for 2 years. The inverter has never been touched. Nothing has happened to it, to these inverters. I mean, touch-free for 2 years and over, and still counting. Okay, so if everything is all right, if the installation has been done properly, we expect you not to touch the inverters for the entire lifetime of the inverter. Let us move to O&M. Okay, O&M, the panel side. So we said there are harsh conditions that this panel faces: extreme weather, extreme heat, huge rainfalls, and all that. How do we offer O&M for these panels? Now, you can see that throughout my program, I've been talking about smart IV curve diagnosis. Smart IV curve diagnosis. I'm sure you would have said that other inverter applications, other inverter companies also run smart IV curve, but none as smart as Huawei. Let me tell you this. So when the sun is very high up in the sky, you can run a smart IV curve on your system in 2 minutes, maximum 2 minutes. Okay, you can run it. It's a software that you purchase. You install the software, and then you run the software through your PV models. In 2 minutes, the diagnosis will be done. You can generate a report within 10 minutes. And this report that you are going to generate would be able to identify accurately up to 14 different faults on the inverters, like on the PV systems. up to 14 different faults: broken glass, short diodes, short circuit. Look, it can identify all these faults for you. You just have to do this from the comfort of your office. You don't have to be on the field in terms of traditional O&M, checking string to string to actually get this done. And it will not only identify the fault, it will pinpoint the particular string that has the problem and what solution you can offer for that particular system. This is beautiful. And this is the smart IV curve diagnosis. This can be done in 2 minutes, reporting in 10 minutes, and it saves you all the time of doing traditional O&M. Okay, so it will pinpoint to you through graphs. As you can see from here, it will show you through graphs the diagnosis, the problem, the solution, and where the string is actually located, for you to go directly to that place and then solve it. If you need to send a technician to the field to get this solved, this IV curve diagnosis will pinpoint that particular string to you. It's extremely impressive, and this ensures that you don't need to be going onto the roofs or into solar farms and then checking your system one after the other. Just get the software and you are good to go. Okay, so this brings us to warranty. We are almost at the end of our presentation. So this brings us to warranty. 5-year standard warranty on our inverters, and they are extendable to 20 years. Okay, so whilst you buy an inverter from Jubilee Bros, the standard warranty is 5 years. If you are doing a project that you think the project will last for 15 years, 20 years, you can buy extended warranty. It's for sale. You can just buy it and then you can cover it up to 20 years. Now, the good thing about this warranty is that, and I must mention it, the good thing about this warranty is that the warranty is extendable at any period within the 5 years. It's not necessary for you to extend it only at the beginning, okay? So you buy an inverter today, you are not forced to buy an extended warranty today. It's for 5 years. So you buy it in August 2021. The 5 years will expire in August 2026, right? If you are in July 2026 and the warranty is 4.9 years old, you can extend the warranty at that time for 5 more years. You can, so basically you can extend the warranty at any point in time in the lifespan of the inverter. We are not forcing you to extend the warranty immediately at the beginning. Some companies, if you want to extend a warranty for a project, as soon as you buy it, you must buy the extended warranty. With Huawei, we trust our system so much that you can extend the warranty at any time within the year. Okay, you don't have any restrictions. And warranty is simple. Identify a problem. Contact the local Jubilee Bros representative in your area. So you are in Pakistan. You bought a Huawei inverter from our branch in Pakistan. You feel that the inverter is not producing as much as it should, and it's a manufacturing defect. Contact our local Jubilee Bros representative. We will identify the issue. You saw when I explained the account management, how we can be able to identify the issues even from our office. Okay, so we just get the password and the username of that installation. We go online and then we can identify the issue. It's an issue that we cannot solve. We bring Huawei in to review the problem, and then if Huawei remotely diagnoses the issue and determines it's a warranty issue, we replace the inverter for you. Please take note, we replace the inverter. We are not giving you a spare part. We are not replacing a spare part. We are not asking for any shipping cost. We replace the inverter for you, and then we will deal with Huawei on our side on the warranty replacement. So the inverter replacement will be done locally, and that's what I mean, locally in Pakistan. You don't have to bring it all the way to Dubai, pay for shipment, take it back before you can get your item. What this also does is that this reduces your time, your downtime, because it means that that inverter which is defective will not be there lying idle, or will not wait for you to ship it to China before you bring it back. The Jubilee local representative will take care of that and will solve your warranty problem for you. If this is not good, I don't know what you need, because this is the best for my region. We have companies in Ghana who have bought inverters from China. They have a problem. They must decommission the inverters, send them to China, and then they are replaced in China, sent to them at their own cost. If you're in Ghana and then you buy a Huawei inverter from me in Ghana, if you have a problem, you deal with me in Ghana. I will do the replacement for you in Ghana, and I will deal with Huawei on my own level. That is the beauty of what we are actually doing here. So finally, let's go to our other products quickly. We also do multi-structures, as I told you. It's from Lumax Energy. We have all types of structures, half concrete mount, half ground mount, full ground mount, roof types, corrugated roof, every type of roof is available, okay? And every type of sheet material on your roof is available. We do all types of, whether it's corrugated, sandwich, okay, trapezoidal, IBR, we do every type, slates, they are all available. I also mentioned to you our solar panel connection that we have with Jinko. Yeah, so we have just struck a connection with Jinko GCC. So Jinko is now our reliable partner to provide you with solar panels, and you know Jinko is purely tier 1. We also do PV diesel, okay, solar PV diesel. Remember, I already mentioned that we are already a huge diesel company, diesel generator company, okay. So we already produce the generators. If you want solar, we will add solar to your system together with the genset and then the grid. We use a hybrid controller like Ncombi or Deep Sea, and we are able to hybridize your system, save you power and energy before we get it to your facility. Currently, we are also moving into smart microgrid and lithium-ion batteries. Okay, so as I mentioned, one of my biggest interest for all these is the after-sales support. If you buy from me, I don't leave you hanging. You saw from the warranty explanation, when you buy a product from Jubilee Bros and you have a warranty issue with the product, we will check it. We will bring in Huawei to check it. When Huawei informs us that it's a warranty issue, we don't wait for you to give us the product. We send it to Huawei for it to be replaced. Okay, we will give you the replacement, and we will do it Huawei on our level once all the paperwork is done. This is the after sales support that we offer. We also offer you installation support. So you've not used Huawei before, okay? Maybe you've used several other systems. You are a master of PV installations, but you've not done Huawei before. And we are saying Huawei is smart. Everything is online. If you buy for the first time and you're going to install it, call us. We will offer you installation support. If you want us to be on site and it is possible and available, we shall make ourselves available on site to assist you. We also help you with O&M support. You've got the license for IV curve diagnosis. You don't know how to run it. We will offer you one-on-one training, and to be able to just to ensure that your engineers are conversant with how to run O&M for these systems. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. I would quickly enable my Q&A, question and answers.